Hey guys, D1sco here. And today, earlier, I didn't know about this until I saw the title of a Scott Jund video, which was like maybe a minute or two ago when I saw the title as I'm recording this. But yeah, earlier today, because when I'm recording this, because it's Monday, February 19th, this will be uploaded a few days later, a few days from now. But they gave us the developer update for February 2024. Now I was excited for this. My honest because the stats developer update, which came out the day I'm recording this, wasn't it was interesting, but it wasn't really the type of developer updates I like. I like the developer updates that tell you stuff about the game, right? That tell you, hey, we got these tweaks coming up, we got these changes, these things to look forward to. Whereas that one was just like stats, and I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care a whole lot. I do care to some extent. I do appreciate the game always getting fixed up, but I don't care that much. Um, I guess an example of how I don't really care um, could be actually it would be from Orange because me and Orange at one point there's only I want to say there's only one of these. We both made a video months ago. I don't remember exactly how many months ago on a Dead by. It was around when Chucky released. It was like a test. It was like one of those like Dead by Daylight like player surveys, and from what I think both of our surveys ended up getting like a dislike or two. I don't think yeah I know his I believe his got more views and whatnot, but they didn't perform the best in terms of likes and dislikes. I mean, but that's fine. Um, and if you want in oranges, there's like multiple times uh, where he very much shows his disinterest in this caveat that a lot of people want. Because a lot of people do want 2v8, but a lot of those people really want it to be like a competition. And me and Orange, we couldn't care less about the competition because we just want to. Well, he just wants to play the side he's good at, which unfortunately means that I'll be dog shit and absolutely no help to him. But it would be fun to experience that. Um, so I and so similarly to the whole like competition between the killers and his reaction to that is somewhat similar to my reaction on the stats where I just don't really care like enough to I guess I'm not quite to that extreme, and I don't blame Orange for his reaction at all. I think it's very fair just based off of how the two of us are wanting to approach 2v8 if it ever does happen. But regardless, this one looks to be more the style that I'm excited for, so let's do this. It's time for another developer update. In this post, we'll cover all the balance changes and improvements making their way to the game. The next major update. It seems like the next major update will be chapter 31. I do have a video on one of the teasers. I say one of the teasers because this chapter was unique. I think I saw without realizing that they were some of the other ones, but they're only like the one to my knowledge made its way to YouTube, and so I'm assuming these changes are going to be how was that. So killer tweaks. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah. So okay, okay, I'm starting to understand. So this is for those of you that saw the roadmap and saw how it was like Sadako, Billy, and Blight's add-ons for January. This is the second part of that. This is the one where this is the one that, in my opinion, this one is a little not. The killer changes in this one are just like little tweaks. They're not like the major like changes. It's not like they're changing everything about the character. They're not. like full on reworking anybody. They're just little tweaks. So unfortunately, this isn't like reworks are really cool and interesting because you get to see it's like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do for X Killer. Um, which is part of why I'm excited for Twins rework, which should be a few months from now, because Twins is very buggy, and a lot of people are complaining about how buggy Twins is, and to the point where like nobody plays Twins. Twins is probably one of, if not the least played killer in the entire game. Um, and a big reason for that isn't because people don't like the idea of Twins or anything like that. It's the fact that Twins is just so buggy. It's very hard to even play the character. I don't know. God damn it, YouTube. But this one looks so cool. This one is just, but like, I mean, um, so luckily this isn't, this is just fixing up stuff, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so for this update, we've given a few of the killers in our roster both quality of life and balance improvements. We've identified a handful of killers that could use some small base kit improvements to help reduce their dependency on certain add-ons. There's a lot to go through, so we'll do our best to keep them brief. So the thing that I find interesting is lately they've been wanting to push a like they based off of like the most used stuff. They're trying to push away from certain perks and certain add-ons, and it's just like at this point, I don't know, just get rid of them. Like if like I get why they are, but like I don't know, it's just I don't know. This I feel like you could make the argument of then just get rid of them. You know what I mean? I'm overall happy they're here because they make life so much easier. But again, there's one over here. The pig is first on our list to talk about. In a shocking turn of events, we have decided to buff the pig. More specifically, we have made improvements to both the pig's ambush and crouch abilities. The goal with these changes is to make her ambush and stealth abilities more useful and make her feel less reliant on her reverse bear traps. Yeah, but here's the thing. When I free kid as pig, I relied on none of that. I was literally just running around hitting people. Well, I was playing bear traps on people, but that was it. Um, well, I tried ambushing, but I just kept not pulling it off. So I was just kind of sticking to what I knew. But I think that's interesting because the reverse bear trap is her power. It's just kind of like as an added bonus, she can crouch, which is very slow and fine. And she has that really cool ambush attack, which only takes away like a health state, but it's still very useful and very nice. So for ambush, which is pretty solid, um, so for the ambush, they increased ambush duration to 2.3 seconds was 2 seconds, decreased ambush successful attack cooldown to 2.7 seconds was 3 seconds, and decreased ambush missed attack cooldown to 1.5 seconds was 2 seconds. So basically, the duration is slightly longer. Went from being 2 seconds to 2.3 seconds. So if someone is slightly out of your range, you have a little bit more time to pull it off. Now the ambush successful attack cooldown basically means once you hit it, like it would if you hit it, the time for the cooldown of like being able to use ambush again, because you successfully used it is lower. So it actually takes less time to get it back. Same with the missed attack cooldown. Basically, you get your power fast. Basically, you get access to ambush again faster, and it lasts a little longer. So honestly, ambush got a very good buff. All three of those are buffs, and they feel pretty good. As for crouch, the increased crouch movement speed of 3.8 meters a second with 3.6 meters a second. That one is huge in my opinion. That one's pretty good because there's two killers that can crouch. Ghostface, and I don't feel any problems with Ghostface because it's so fast to crouch and uncrouch with Ghostface and whatnot. It's just ridiculous. And Pig, and for Pig, I mean, and for Pig, like I wouldn't say it's definitely not slow for them, but but they did make it faster by zero point 0.2 meters a second. So that's nice. So that way, if you like crouching as Pig, well, you're a little bit faster now while you're crouched. So that's pretty good. And then decrease time taking the crouch to 1 second with 1.3 seconds. It does take Pig a while to crouch and uncrouch, so decreasing that is pretty big. Honestly, so far I have no problems with Pig's changes, and I think they're very good little changes that are really going to help her out. And I think a lot of players, both new and old, will really benefit from them so far. Reverse bear traps. The Pig can no longer see the auras of Jigsaw boxes. Now that one's interesting because she can right now. Well, until this goes live in the next update. But she doesn't really need to, you know what I mean? Like, you see that a whole... Well, I mean, I guess they're thinking with getting rid of that part is so that way Pig can't, like, just pick up a box and look at it, because there was a buff, or they nerfed the playstyle of Pig at one point, so you can't do this anymore. Where it used to be only one box had the key, so you had to like find. So once you figured out which box was correct, you basically anytime you get a trap on, you need to beeline into that one. And there was a playstyle with Pig where you would pick a box and pray with the key one, and then just basically you would put bear traps on everybody, and then you would just sit there in front of the key one, again assuming you found the key one, and the timers on everybody's things go off and you win because you're guarding the box, you know what I mean? So like they have to go through you. That's no longer a play style, and I feel like and I could see them potentially just wanting to ensure that Pig can't really do anything with, by trying to do anything like that again with the boxes, and maybe that's why they removed it. But also, like, Pig doesn't really need to see them. Survivors do when they have the trap on, but outside of that, you don't really need to see them if you're Pig herself. So like you know what I mean. So I don't see any problems with that. Sure, it's different, but like I don't really see too many problems with that because there's not really much of a point for her to be able to do that. And then they also reverse bear traps now have a base timer of 3 minutes. Was 2.5 minutes. See, here's the thing. I knew it was pretty long, but now it's even longer. So what it kind of sounds like is kind of what I was expecting. It kind of feels like because they mentioned that they wanted the ambush, and her stealthy abilities to be more used than the reverse bear traps. So it feels like maybe so it kind of feels so after reading them, it definitely sounds like reverse bear traps got nerfed a little bit, but the other two things did, like crouching and the ambush attack, did get buffed, which is interesting. The Pig can now cover 15% more ground with your ambush attack. That's quite a lot. 15% more ground is that's a lot, making it harder for survivors to break away from the loop. We've also made missed attacks less punishing to encourage using ambush more often, and updated her successful attack cooldown to match the normal basic attack cooldown. Interesting. Because I think it was like higher than the normal basic attack cooldown, so now they're the same. That's good. Um, Improving her crouch makes it quicker and easier to set up for an ambush, and allows her to spend less time sneaking up on unsuspecting survivors. A handful of add-ons that decreased her missed attack cooldown, or decreased her crouch time have had their effects reduced to compensate, as their effects are now part of her base kit. So basically, any add-ons that decrease her missed attack cooldown or her crouch time, because those are now base kit, they still do that. It's just not as much because they already do that. The hack's most popular add-ons. So I don't know enough about hack to even understand what that means already. Decrease the setting time of the phantasm traps and increases the distance at which they can be teleported to. With that in mind, we have increase the maximum teleport distance to 48 meters a second was 40 meters a second. So I don't know enough about hacks. Any hack mains watching this video, please tell me kind of what you think about these changes in the comment section below. I'd love to hear the hack mains opinions. I personally don't feel qualified enough to give an opinion on hack's changes because I see hack very little, and me and Orange both are not good at playing Esser. Both of us will admit that, and both of us would rather play most of the other killers over hack. Orange doesn't really, because I don't know, we're not good. So I don't really understand a whole lot what that means. To me, whenever I have watched the few times I've watched Orange play as hack, the Phantasm Trap setting time felt fine to me. It's 1 second, apparently. Now it's 0.9 seconds. I know I didn't read that change quite yet, but I just did. Decrease Phantasm Trap setting time to 0.9 seconds was 1 second. So basically, now with hack, you can teleport farther away from your trap. You can teleport 8 meters farther, and it's even fast, and it's slightly faster, which is still good. I just don't know enough about hack to make a firm opinion on it. You know what I mean? On that change, but it sounds interesting. Hack's typically 4K the few times that I see them. So, I mean, I guess me and Orange are about to get 4K to harder buyer. And additionally, increase the time triggered phantasm traps remain active to 6 seconds was 5 seconds. So it gives you a little longer window. And they increased time taken to wipe away a phantasm trap to 4 seconds was 3.5 seconds. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't even know if you could I don't know if you could always do that, but I don't see Heg ever so much so to the point where I forget that's even a thing. But basically, it takes longer to wipe away the traps, but you're faster at doing stuff. The killer is faster is better with them. Survivors are slower at getting rid of them. But I don't know, there's not many hack players out there I've noticed. At least wherever I am at the MMR, there's not. Kind of happy about that because it does get tiring getting 4K by hacks all the time, but whatever. These adjustments will make it easier to set and teleport the fans out of traps, reducing the reliance on add-ons that improve these aspects. The increased duration will also give her more time to respond and get in range when a trap is triggered. Meanwhile, survivors will have to spend a little longer to wipe away a trap, making it more difficult to do during a chase. As for triggering traps, the hag has some add-ons which increased their trigger range. The practice is for being counterproductive since it would position the survivors further away from the trap, making them more difficult to hit after teleporting. We have decreased the base trap trigger's range to 2.7 meters plus 3 meters. The bloodied water, and bloodied mud add-on, which previously increased the trap trigger range, have had their effects inverted and now decrease trap trigger range. For some reason, okay. Like the pig, the effects of some add-ons have been toned down now that part of their effects are always active. The clown. 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 Between the two bottles, the clown's afterpiece tonic is the clear favorite for most players. Yeah, that's the one where he slows stuff. Yeah. No, that makes sense because nothing against the other one, which is like the speed one, but it's kind of just like you don't really need it. You know what I mean? You don't really need the antidote one because there's really like basically you do the afterpiece tonic is crucial is very good because you throw it, the survivors now disoriented, you know what I mean, survivors are now disoriented and whatnot, so, and then you hit them. There's like an achievement I believe where you have to, I forget, it's either hit, I believe it's downing them when they have the afterpiece tonic, or it's like one hitting or downing, how like that. But yeah, you don't really need the speed one, really. Which is why that the obvious one you kind of need is the clear favorite. We want to show some love to the attributes and make it more compelling, make it a more compelling option. So we have. It's not that it's a bad option. It's just that's kind of like what's the point? Because the other bottle is just so good, like useful. They increased the afterpiece and speed boost duration to 6 seconds was 5 seconds, so it's you get it longer, and like that's good and all, but again, you don't necessarily need, as long as you hit the afterpiece tonic, you don't really need the antidote.